That was just a great game of hockey. It's what you want to watch. It had everything. It had physicality. It had a fight. It had great saves. It had great goals. It had assists as well. Everything you could ask for in a close competitive hockey game. There's nothing that I don't like about this hockey. That's not true. There's an injury that I don't like. But on the whole, the play in this game was just wonderful to watch. It's why I fell in love with the sport of hockey. All right. There was also a hat trick. Avs win 3-2 over the Florida Panthers.
Alex Newhook!
Oh boy.
Whoa!
I loved the way the Avs played this game. They didn't play perfectly, but they played extremely well, and they got the win because of it, against a team that also played quite well. Of course, there are mistakes to break down, but there's also just two good teams going at each other and playing great hockey. So you have to give the Avs a lot of credit for winning this game. The first period was two teams not really accomplishing anything effective, but that didn't mean there weren't good opportunities. Both goalies, Bob and Kemper, were playing quite well, stopping the quality chances. Other than one apiece, each side did hit a post in this game. Starting to see that separation between good and bad posts really break up further again. And games like this make hockey fun from top to bottom. A close game, a game where you feel like either team could win at any moment. It's not an experience the Avs have gotten a lot of this year. And it also shows that the Avs are capable of playing games like this and winning games like this, even if it doesn't necessarily fit their comfort zone. They were able to play plenty physically throughout the hockey game and keep up with Florida in that regard. So with no goals in the first period, the game really gets started in hindsight in the second period. Now we do have to talk about the hit on Jacob MacDonald. MacDonald is collecting a puck along the boards, and as Lomberg comes in, MacDonald doesn't realize he's about to get crushed until it's far too late with his head and eyes on the puck. Lomberg comes through, he gets low, he tries to hit through MacDonald's body extremely well, and I think he does an effective job of that. You can see as they make contact, he's initiating through the chest. Unfortunately, it does look like he at the same time catches a little bit of MacDonald's jaw, but he's hitting directly through the guy's chest, and it's a good, clean hockey hit, in my opinion. Anything that happens after the initiation of contact to the body, that stuff's going to happen, right? You can't control your body when you fling it into someone else. You can control it up to the point of impact, but once the hit is made, things are going to happen. Look, I came on here and said that I had a problem with the hit Jacob Trouba put on Nathan MacKinnon. I will say I do think those hits are different. As far as I can tell, this is a clean hit with an unfortunate result. On the MacKinnon hit, Trouba very clearly went through MacKinnon's head first and then into the body. On this hit, I think at worst, MacDonald gets hit in the body and the head at the same time, and at best, it's body first and then head. And there's a good effort to avoid hitting the head here, so I really don't know what you can do about a hit like this unless you're talking about removing hits entirely from the game. If you watch my other video, you know that's something I don't want. Unfortunate results do happen sometimes, and as I said, there's a certain level of risk that you do have to take on if you are going to be an NHL hockey player. Each person needs to decide what that level of risk is for themselves and what should be okay. For me, hits to the head are right on that line. There's something incidental, which I feel this was more incidental, then I don't really know that you can do anything about it and leave hitting in the game. So I thought this hit was clean. I'm sure plenty of people will disagree with me. Obviously, you never want to see someone get hurt, and thankfully Jacob MacDonald is functioning and generally okay. We'll see when he plays hockey again, but at least something serious hasn't happened. I don't blame anyone that doesn't want to see these type of hits. I totally understand where you're coming from, but I just think that's a clean hit. Once two bodies collide, crazy things are going to happen sometimes. The good news for the Avs, they kind of got energized by this hit. They saw their teammate go down, and they started firing on all cylinders. You even saw players like Sam Girard and Andre Burakovsky laying big hits on Florida. You do not see that very often. In almost every category, this game was dead even through the first 2 periods. The Avs only outshot Florida by 2 shots on goal in the 2 periods, 18-16. They both had multiple power play opportunities on both sides of the puck. They were both possessing and generating opportunities. The difference is, in the second period, right near the end, the Avs capitalized on one of their power plays. Your standard drop pass start to the power play entry for Colorado, with MacKinnon carrying it up and through. He's able to get the blue line and penetrate deep entirely by himself. MacKinnon, great at these type of entries. It's been a little hit and miss this year, but it looks like it's starting to come back for him. Unfortunately, he fans on the shot, but it creates a great opportunity for Mikko Rantanen to cut to the middle as the players stick tight to MacKinnon. Rantanen, a lot of the time you wouldn't mind seeing him shoot this puck, but for some reason he's just obsessed with this backhand pass. Sometimes it costs him. This time it works. He finds Burakovsky wide open in the high slot with a great pass. Berkey finishes that one beautifully, barring in. An absolutely massive goal in this game. I know Avs fans have kind of gotten used to games where there's a billion goals getting scored, but in a game where it's 0-0 right at the end of the second period, 1 goal is literally the difference between winning and losing, as you'll see later in the game. So a huge 1-goal lead for the Avs going into the third period, but they aren't done there. They're able to make the lead 2 as Burakovsky, after 2 goals the game before, just keeps rolling. It's funny how little mistakes can make all the difference in these close games. A pass puck for a one-timer attempt from Ekblad right here in the circle ends up getting fanned, and the Avs are off the other way as Berkey just slips a pass through to Rantanen to create a bit of an odd man rush here. Rantanen walks in wide and then pulls up. Berkey, staying in the play in front of Ekblad, who struggled to recover from the missed shot, is able to be the third man in, walk all the way in, goes to his backhand on this one, and beats Bob over the glove. Mikko Rantanen, also quietly the primary assister on both of Berkey's goals. A promotion to the top line for Burakovsky seems to have gotten him fired up a little bit. Obviously, with Landeskog missing a couple of weeks, this is a line you can expect to stay together. And right now, Berkey kind of doing a lot of the heavy lifting. So, the Avs go up by 2. I always say this, if you're up by 2 in the third period, it's a game you should win. Full stop. That is the answer. And while the Avs do get to that result, it is awfully shaky. About 8 minutes into the period, Mikhail Maltsev ends up taking a pretty bad penalty. It was a blatant one. Clearly, refs had to call it. I have no problems with, honestly, most of what the refs did in this game. There's one call late in the game on the Avs that didn't cost them. So, refs, you did okay for once. I got to give you credit occasionally. But the Maltsev penalty does cost the Avs. And this is something you don't like to see. Obviously, here's Florida's goal. Really weird situation on the Avs penalty kill here. First, they have Cale Makar on the penalty kill for some reason right now. Yes, I know Jacob McDonald's out of the game, but still an odd choice to put Makar out there. Jack Johnson chases a man very high into the zone for a penalty kill for an Avs defenseman. Their setup usually keeps their defenseman pretty much just hanging out net front, so it leaves Makar alone at defending this area, and then you get multiple problems breaking down. Obviously, Jack Johnson losing his stick doesn't help. As Florida works this puck down the boards on the far side, you can see Darren Helm kind of ends up in no man's land. Cale Makar is trying to defend the net front, but he doesn't check Joe Thornton very well, isn't really sure how to get in this passing lane, and Helm is just panicking at this point. He realizes it's his job to cover the back door, and he's left it completely wide open. He's not able to recover in time, so as the pass gets by Makar, Helm's out of position, leaving Joe Thornton to one-time a puck through Darcy Kemper. Look, it's still concerning that Avs are letting teams back into games in the third period. It's just something they still need to clean up. Yes, at the end of the day, they won this game, and I'm not going to overthink this too much, but it's certainly something at the back of your mind where you can't let things like this happen against good teams often, or they're going to make you pay. Case in point, Florida ties this game up less than 3 minutes later with half the third period to go. Again, it's small mistakes that matter in close games against good hockey teams. The Avs have chipped this puck out, and they chase it hard into the offensive zone. Both Compher and O'Connor just completely send it into the offensive zone as the puck goes the other way. Now, initially, not that bad. This is a 3-on-3 entering into the Avs zone. Each Avs player marks up a man, and you're good to go. You even have the little conversation with Taze. But you can already see Brandon Montour, the fourth man in, has beaten both Compher and O'Connor up the ice by a good margin. With the Avs marked up, it leaves him entirely undefended. You can see O'Connor just well behind the play. It's just a silly mistake that you shouldn't be making with a 1-goal lead. Montour gets to walk all the way into the hashes, basically, before beating Kemper on the blocker side. So, look, not a great little stretch of hockey for the Avs, but it's incredibly tough to play a full quality 60 minutes. You just have to minimize the damage as best you can and respond. And that's the key here. The Avs responded, or rather more accurately, Andre Burakovsky went something like this.
And this
What's he doing?
is to go even further beyond.
This one's just all-world type stuff. Rantanen gets the puck out and gets it to McKinnon to create essentially a 2-on-2, even maybe a 2-on-3 with Burakovsky. McKinnon drags both defenders in the zone to him before dropping it to Berkey. This is Aaron Ekblad too, by the way. He's pretty good at the whole defense thing. Berkey walks in against him, is able to get just about as close as you can get to Ekblad's stick without actually touching it before unleashing a bomb from outside the circles that's going to beat Bob clean. For a hat trick, that shot is just outrageous. The hat trick is good. Burakovsky's first hat trick of his career, which was crazy to me, but he gets the job done. Scores all 3 of the Avs goals as they close things out. Credit to Darcy Kemper as well. Yes, he let in 2 goals, but I thought he played incredibly well tonight, saving 29 of 31 and making a number of big saves. The Avs never trailed in this entire hockey game. While they did relinquish a 2-goal lead, they were never behind. Kemper did also get a little help from EJ in the dying seconds of this game. That was a surefire goal that EJ sweeps back under Kemper. A great play. When games like this get played, I don't think my reviews can really do them justice. I highly recommend, if you're going to watch one Avalanche game this year, at least in the regular season, go watch this one, because it's a great hockey game. It's the type of hockey game that fans fall in love with. It's the type of hockey game that you want to show a new fan to show how amazing the sport of hockey can be. So, if you didn't watch it, go watch it if you can. That is the end of this game video review. Thank you for watching. Head on over to thednvr.com for all of our coverage. I am Rudo, and we're up to 2 hat tricks now. How many more times am I going to get wet?
Avalanche time, come on, grab your friends. We're going to the playoffs again with Nate the dog and Gabe the big. The fun isn't over yet. It is Avalanche time.